mistakes, just chances we've taken. Lay down your regrets, 'cause all we have is now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome. I'm Judith Killian, and I have the honor of serving on your Board of Trustees, and I have a few announcements for you this morning. I invite you to take out your electronic devices, and if you're on social media, please check in with your people and let them know you're at Unity, Minneapolis. And then we ask that you silence your device or put it on airplane mode and give yourself and others the gift of this sacred hour. Thank you. And a big, huge thank you to all who made our anniversary celebrations such a success. We're grateful to the anniversary committee, all the volunteers, the contributors of donations and ads, and everyone who attended both the dinner and Sunday's receptions. Thank you, everyone. And the music. And the music. Today we start our fall book program featuring The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. Self-study guides, sign-up sheets for various small group options, Reverend Pat's Ministers Group, and Reverend Jeanette's Wednesday evening class, all of which begin this week, are in the Garden Court. It's not too late to sign up. This afternoon, John and Marie Pettengill present the first of a 4-part series on the Gospels. They will be talking about the hidden messages in the parables. This is an interactive workshop filled with great information. Join them today in the Fillmore Room at 1:30. Friday night is MBT, a gathering for magic, blessing, and transformation, and also the start of our membership class. Both begin at 7 p.m. While in the Garden Court, checking out all the other activities, if you haven't already signed up for our Peek at the Week, please do so. It's our electronic newsletter that goes out every Thursday and will continue to keep you up to date. We now begin our service with prayer led by Reverend Pat.
Join me in prayer. Let's just go to that place within where we know and we feel God's love. And this morning we are so aware of God's love, this beautiful day, a reflection of the divine, grateful to be in this beautiful world. And we recommit ourselves to seeing the good, to affirming the good. We recommit ourselves to look beyond appearances, regardless of what they may be. We look beyond those appearances and know without a doubt that God is present right in the midst of it. And today we also pray with those that have requested our prayers. We hold those individuals in love and light, knowing that there is an outworking for good in all of our affairs. So it is with great joy and appreciation that we say, thank you, God. Together, thank you, God. Again, thank you, God. And yet again, thank you, God. Let's applaud this day. Let's stand for our opening song.
Okay, we've done this before, but not very often. So I'm gonna do the chorus twice in the beginning. I'm the caller, she's the responder, and so are you. I start, follow her. And I'm walking with the Spirit. And I'm talking with the Spirit. And I'm learning from the Spirit. And I'm turning to the Spirit. I'm growing with the Spirit. And showing to the Spirit. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Do it again. I'm walking myself in one of those situations that's leading to some kind of drama or confrontation. I go within, I get plugged into my friend before it's too late. Put that spirit in front of me to make those crooked faces straight. And I'm walking with the spirit. And I'm talking with the spirit. And I'm learning from the spirit. And I'm turning to the spirit. And I'm growing with the spirit. And I'm showing the spirit. I'm walking with the spirit in front of me. When I find myself in one of those situations and I don't know what to do and I got no explanation, I go within, I get plugged in for a revelation. 10 times out of 9 things will work out fine without my participation. And I'm walking in the spirit, and I'm talking to the spirit. And I'm learning from the spirit. And I'm turning to the spirit. And I'm growing with the spirit. And I'm showing to the spirit. I'm walking with the spirit in front of me. Sing walking with the spirit. I'm walking with the spirit in front of me. Do that again. I'm walking with the spirit in front of me.
I love that line, 10 times out of 9, things work out just fine. Oh my goodness, I need to remember that. I looked out here earlier this morning when there was 5 of us in the sanctuary, and I turned to Reverend Jeanette and I said, everybody's out enjoying this fall day, but I'm sure it will be much better for them this afternoon after they attend church. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Unity is that positive path for spiritual living, and we do offer practical teachings that help us to live meaningful and healthy and prosperous lives. And I love the fact that our community is an opening, welcoming community. Therefore, one of our things to do is to acknowledge our guests. So today, my dear friends, if you're with us for the first, second, or third time, we invite you to allow us to honor your presence here today. We're going to do nothing drastic. Take your courage in your hand. Take your courage in your hand and raise your hand as I raise my hand. Courage out there. We got courage out here. Courage out here. Courage out here. We're going to talk about courage a little bit today in our lesson, needless to say, but that packet of information you're receiving tells you a lot about Unity Minneapolis. There's a card there if you choose to fill out any part of that card and turn that into our book desk. Then we have a special gift for you. The rose is a gift from our congregation so that we can easily recognize you and give you that very personal welcome. All of that's important, and yet one of the most important things that I say on this platform each and every Sunday morning is this. And that is, my dear friends, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, wherever that may be, you are welcome here. We welcome you. We bless you. We behold the living presence of the divine within you. Let's appreciate these guests this morning. Thank you. We also welcome each other with a handshake, a hug, a smile, namaste. In this church, we always ask before let's do it. If you did not get a chance to speak to the person you wanted to speak with, let's try that. If you did not get a chance to speak to the person you wanted to speak with, join us for our Friendship Hour following today's service. Now let's have the reading of our daily word, the daily word.
We now move deeper into spirit with the reading of the daily word. As the usher brings down the prayer box, you're invited to mentally add your prayers to the written requests in the box. After the service, the prayer box is located in the garden court, where you may add your written requests. Your prayers are then prayed with by our prayer ministry for 7 days, and then they are forwarded to Silent Unity, where they are prayed with for an additional 30 days. The word for today is generosity. Divine love through me multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. A classic Unity hymn declares, love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. While it's true that freely sharing my time, talent, and treasure attracts good into my life, I am inspired to give for the sheer joy of giving, recognizing my oneness with all people in God. I know every thought, word, helping hand, or financial gift I offer blesses me as much as it blesses the one who receives it. Because I know that both giving and receiving are essential to the flow of abundance, I accept with gratitude and love the gifts and blessings that come to me through the loving generosity of others. I count each day as another opportunity for me to give in return. 1 Timothy 6:18 tells us, they are to do good, to be rich in good works, generous, and ready to share. The word for today is generosity.
us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory
And so we relax in the quiet for a moment. Let us look at the courage, compassion, and connection in ourselves. Courage can feel so challenging. Life's situations challenge us with feelings that do not feel like ours. And yet, we have all the courage we need to make it through whatever it is in our presence. For God is there. God is always here with us. And yet, what about compassion? Compassion is a choice. Compassion is for ourselves first, and then our loved ones, and for everyone we meet. Compassion is first and foremost for ourselves. Once it is for ourselves, we have it for all. And then connection is here. What can we do with connection? We are connected with people as we listen and care for others. We give of ourselves as we listen and care for others because we care. We care for all. It goes back to being courageous for our own sake so we can be there for all the others. We feel compassion for ourselves, so we are able to be there for others. As we feel connected because of our courage and compassion, we can be there for all. And so we rest in the quiet contemplation of our soul. As we return to this space in time, we love ourselves and are compassionate for all. And we are connected. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
My eyes ain't used to these rays. I'm feeling exposed, but I can't hide no more. I can't hide. As the sun shines on all of my glory, my flaws don't look so bad at all. What was I so afraid of? Every part of me is a vision of a portrait of Mona Lisa. Every part of me is beautiful, and I finally see I'm a work of art, I'm a masterpiece. Oh, 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 oh. What is this I've tried so long to find, filling my head with lies, that I'm not good enough? Then I heard something in my ear tell me I'm perfect. Now that I know the truth, it's time to show and prove that every part of me is a vision of a portrait of Mona Lisa. Every part of me is beautiful, and I finally see I'm a work of art, I'm a masterpiece. Oh, 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 oh. Now I see the pretty colors on my canvas. I'm a work of art. I see the picture in my eyes. I'm not afraid to let it show anymore. Oh, there is beauty in my eyes. I have beauty deep inside. I can feel it now, believe it now. I can see it now. I'm beautiful. Every part of me is a vision of a portrait of Mona Lisa. Every part of me is beautiful, and I finally see I'm a work of art, I'm a masterpiece.
Whoa. Thank you. Let's affirm together, I'm a masterpiece. Together, I am a masterpiece. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. You believe that? Most of you do, and most of you do. And you know, it's a journey to get there, is it not? Oh, I wish we had time for everyone to tell their journey this morning about what it takes to get to that place of being a masterpiece and really living it and knowing it. And I had put in my pocket this morning, this card. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress. So I am a masterpiece and I am a work in progress. So we start a new series this morning, and I'm excited about the series. It's called The Gifts of Imperfection. And some of you may know that this is Pastor Appreciation Month, and I have found the definition of a perfect pastor. And Reverend Pat's name is not at the top of it, okay? This is an unknown author. This is a chain letter that was sent to me. Results to be computerized surveys show that the perfect pastor preaches exactly 15 minutes, condemns sin, but never upsets anyone. He works from 8 a.m. until midnight and also the janitor. He makes $200 a week, wears good clothes, buys good books, drives a good car, gives about $175 a week to the poor or back to the church. He's 28 years old, and he's been preaching for 30 years. He is wonderfully gentle and handsome. He has a burning desire to work with teenagers and spends all of his spare time with senior citizens. The perfect pastor smiles all the time with a straight face because he has a sense of humor and keeps him seriously dedicated to his work. He makes 15 calls a day on church families, shut-ins, and those in the hospital, spends all his time evangelizing the unchurched, and is always in his office when needed. If your pastor does not measure up, simply send this letter to 6 other churches that are tired of their pastor too. Then bundle up your pastor and send him to the church at the top of the list. In 1 year, you will receive 1,643 pastors, and one of them will be just perfect for you. Warning, keep this letter going. One church broke the chain and got its old pastor back in less than 3 months. Oh my gosh. Pastor Appreciation Day. You know, we began a brand new series called The Gifts of Imperfection, speaking of perfection. And I wanted to say, we could talk forever just about Brene Brown herself, the author of this book. But obviously, she's a writer and research professor at the University of Houston Graduate College of Social Work. And her TED Talks have been viewed by millions of people. Obviously, we have studied some of her books as well. The last one we studied was Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. You know, Reverend Jeanette referred beautifully in her meditation to those things that really apply to wholehearted living. And that's where she is today, wanting us to live holy, be truly ourselves, and step in to being authentic and living a wholehearted living life. And I think before I can go down that road right now, I want to speak just a little bit about something that I don't speak about often on this platform because I don't consider myself qualified to speak. But so why should that stop you, Pat? But anyway, but I want to talk about shame for a moment. You know, shame. Did you notice how quiet the room got all of a sudden? Did you notice how quiet? Because I got that way too. Because I think sometimes I don't want to talk about shame. And so it means that when I don't want to talk about shame, it means more than likely I need to talk about shame. Have you noticed that in your own life? And so, shame is something that I believe that we have to truly look at and maybe not totally heal the shame that we have or the feelings that we have around that. But I think it's something that we have to have a greater understanding about in order to even pursue a spiritual path. It's such an important part of our spiritual path. And I think that as we come in and to a spiritual path, we try to Band-Aid it sometimes. We try to put a Band-Aid over the shame and not acknowledge it because we're ashamed. We're ashamed of some of the things that's happened in our life, some of the things we've done, some of the things that's been done to us. And so I want to start just by sharing, and by the way, we have a shame workshop, someone that is a specialist in this, and that's Reverend Reverend. I've ordained him right now, okay? So Dr. Michael Obsat will be doing a workshop. I believe it's on Tuesday night, October the 27th, 29th. I got the Tuesday night right, but it's October the 29th, and that's coming up. And I'm so glad that he is doing this workshop. If you've not attended a workshop with Dr. Michael, I would encourage you to do so. But Brene Brown's definition of shame is this. She says, shame is the intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. That we are flawed, unworthy of love and belonging. And I know that, I think I could say this generally, those that are young like me, grew up about my age, more than likely we had some good dose of shame. Even saying, bad boy, bad girl, that is shame. Or I can remember, oh my goodness, I was playing Little League. Now, I wanted to play Little League like I wanted a hole in my head, okay? So I'm out playing Little League. I'm playing it because my father wanted me to play it. And my twin brother was a sportsman. But he was not a big guy. I was the big guy. And so I'm out playing Little League. And, the coach puts me out in left field, I guess, right field. I have no idea. The field that the ball doesn't come to often, okay? So, oh my gosh, don't take me to the Twins game. So anyway, I'm out there praying, God, don't let the ball come out here. Please don't let the ball come out here. Well, guess what? The ball comes out there. And I can remember holding up my little glove and wanting to catch that ball. And I remember missing the ball. I stood there and it fell. The embarrassment that I felt, you can feel it now. I can feel it now. And the shunning that I received when I went back to the beach, it should have been the beach, the bench from my other colleagues, the players, the coach, my father. Such an embarrassment to him. I remember feeling so ashamed. And I carried that for a long time until I got to the place where I realized that shame is believing that you are bad. I am bad. Flawed. Whereas guilt is I did something bad. You see the difference? Bad, but I did some of my behavior I was not proud of. So there's a difference. And if we walk out of here with nothing else this morning, know that you're not bad. Some of the things you've done, you're not proud of. Some of your behavior. But you are a perfect child of God. And you are good. You are not bad. Huge distinction, my friends. And when we have that distinction in our life, it gives us the ability to move on. It gives us the ability to affirm, to know, to forgive ourselves, forgive others as well. So much shame, there's a difference, I understand, between embarrassment and shame, and we get those mixed up sometimes, and humiliation and shame. But shame goes to the core of who we are. Whereas embarrassment is, I'm embarrassed I forgot your name. Or I'm humiliated because my father came out publicly drunk. But shame, you take it on, and you live from that place until it is healed. And because of unity and many other teachings, we are able to heal and we're able to move on. Shame. She talks about it in her book. I think it should have been chapter 1. I think it should have been dealt with first. But she does deal with it a little later in the book. And she also deals with it in Daring Greatly. She says that if we are going to truly enjoy wholehearted living, there's 3 things that we must embrace. She says that first thing that she talks about is courage. She says that we have to embrace courage. And I don't know about you, but I've done some courageous things in my life, usually because of my ego, usually because I want to please someone else, usually because I want to prove that I'm not a sissy, usually because I want to prove something to my friends and family. I've done some courageous, stupid things sometimes, do you know? And I don't regret any of it, you know? But I can remember coming out of college, and I was signed up for the Marine Corps. Now, here, small southern town, gay man, signed up for the Marine Corps. Oh my God, I hear the laughter out there already. But I was running, getting ready, and this guy said to me, "You will be back in 3 months. You will not make it." Best thing you could have ever said to me. Do you know what I mean? I said, "I'll show him I can make it." And I stepped out, and I became a Marine. Yes. Oh, no. Yes, applaud it. I don't care. You know, I don't care. But they were looking for a few good men. They just didn't know what they got here. Do you know what I mean? But wow. But it took courage to do that. It took courage to qualify. It took courage to do that. It took courage to jump out of a plane recently with some friends of mine and do a tandem jump. It took courage to do a fire walk. Not just walk it once, but walk it several times. It takes courage sometimes to step out and do things, and we have to look what's behind it. Why are we doing it? And be honest with ourselves. And it takes courage to speak up, and it takes courage to be vulnerable. To me, it takes more courage today to speak up and tell my truth than it does to walk across fire. You hear me? It takes courage sometimes to be authentic and stand up and say, "This is what I believe. This is who I am." Knowing that in the room there are other people that are totally in a different place than you. And for women, oh my goodness, I applaud you. Oh my God, I applaud you. The stuff that you've gone through to order to be speaking up and speak out your truth. You were taught that women were, and children, as children, we were taught they were to be seen, not heard. But oh my goodness, women had a certain role they were to fit into. And if you stepped out of that mold, oh my goodness. And it took courage to do that. Brene Brown says today that courage is about being vulnerable. It's about being vulnerable, putting your whole self out there, not knowing what's going to happen. That's courage. She says the other thing that's really important is compassion. If we're going to live a wholehearted life, we must have a life of compassion. It means compassion comes from the Latin word to suffer with, to be with someone, to feel the feelings, to listen to someone, to be compassionate with someone and hear them. Jesus obviously was very compassionate in his ministry, our teacher and our way shower. And yet also, Brene Brown brings into her teachings something that you don't often, she brings in the point of acceptance. Yes, I'm good at that. I'm good at listening. I'm good, I believe, as a minister, being that perfect minister. I'm really good at listening and being compassionate. But she brings in a piece of this that I'm challenged with. and that is accountability. She says that compassion is also about accountability. That in order to be, we have to hold others accountable. Oh my goodness. You mean I can sit with them, I can listen with them, and I still hold them accountable? Yes. Yes. You mean after the 15th time they return to want rent money, it's okay to say no? But I'm compassionate. I'm kind. I've worked with parents before with children in 12-step programs or not in 12-step programs. But parents, they're in the height. Their children are in the bottom of addiction. And they have given them money. They have given them time. They have come back over and over again, being compassionate and loving towards their children. Oh my goodness. I don't have children, but I cannot imagine what that must be like. And they're constantly being bled, so to speak, by this child that's in the middle of addiction. And suddenly they realize that they too must hold this person accountable. And so they cut it off. They cut off the flow of money. They cut off the flow of help. They don't cut off the flow of love and acceptance, but they cut that off. And as someone says sometimes, someone has to hit bottom before you can begin to rise up. And I cannot imagine what it must be like for parents to see their children hit bottom and then begin to rise up. But we must hold each other accountable, even when we are compassionate. It's challenging sometimes as a minister and a supervisor to hold employees accountable. It's really challenging sometimes. And we are blessed here to have such a phenomenal group of employees. It is wonderful. But they too are held accountable, just as I am held accountable through a board of trustees, and just as you hold a board of trustees accountable. So compassion, my friends, is about responsibility. It's about accountability. It is about suffering with. I think Jesus gave us a great example. I want to share just one quick little story. Jesus was very compassionate and accountable at the same time. He says, Jesus arrived, I'm reading from John, the 5th chapter. He arrived in Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holidays, and inside the city near the sheep gate, the pool of Bethesda, with 5 covered porches, and we could go down that metaphysically, but we won't right now. There were crowds of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, and they lay on the porches. And one of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. And when Jesus saw him, he knew how long he had been ill, and he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" "I can't, sir." You see how he answered the question? "Would you like to get well?" "I can't, sir. For I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred up. And while trying to get there, someone else always gets in ahead of me." So the pool was a healing pool. And the person that got in there first was healed. But he didn't get there. And Jesus told him, "Stand up, pick up your sleeping mat, and walk." He had nothing to say about getting in the pool. He didn't say, "Stand up, pick up your mat, walk to the pool, you'll be healed." Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. Be responsible. Be responsible. There's something for you to do as well. I am compassionate, but there's accountability here as well. And Jesus told him, and instantly the man was healed. He rolled up the mat, began walking. But this miracle happened on the 7th day, so the Jewish leaders objected, and they said to the man who was cured, "You can't work on the Sabbath. It's illegal to carry that sleeping mat." And he replied, "The man who healed me said to pick up your sleeping mat and walk." And who said that? They demanded. The man didn't know, for Jesus had disappeared into the crowd. But afterwards, Jesus found him in the temple and told him, now you are well, so stop sinning or something even worse may happen to you. Ooh. Where's accountability? Right there. Accountability. When the man went to the Jewish leaders and told them that it was Jesus who healed him. So Jesus, perfect example here of Jesus being compassionate and at the same time holding people accountable for their actions as well. And the third thing that she talked about was connections. And of course, if anyone can relate to that, unity folks can, right? Because we believe we are one. And did you know it is our nature to connect? Did you know that our brains develop according to our connections? And she talks about in this book as well about the concern she has for technology and connections. I'm grateful for technology. Are you not? Yes. And, I'm getting involved in more and more Zoom and boom calls and all of that, But, and it's great. It's the second choice. It's the second choice because I don't know about you, but when I'm on those Zoom calls and those Blackboard calls, it's wonderful, but I'm not connected heart to heart. I'm connected mind to mind. One of our things that we do in some of our ministerial school program is we use a virtual program for our candidates that are candidating for ministerial school, and it's good. It's good. It keeps the candidate from having to pay all the expenses and the teachers as well to get to the village, and it's good. But it does not measure consciousness for me. It does not measure consciousness the way I am when I'm in that room with that person. I get all the stuff, just like when I'm in the room with you and I'm talking with phone, that's one thing. I'm on Zoom, that's another thing. But connection, we are wired for connection. And we are wired for authentic connection. We want to literally find people that we can connect with energy-wise, energetically. She describes right here, she says she gives us the definition somewhere here about connection. This is it right here, of course. She goes, connection, energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. Whoa. I hope we all have at least one person in our life where we can go and we feel seen and heard and valued. And when they can give and receive without judgment, and they derive substance and strength from the relationship. Who is that in your life? Don't speak it aloud unless you just want to share it with the whole streaming world right now. But hopefully you've got someone in your life that you can connect with. Not just virtually, but you need that support, and that is connection. That is one of the reasons I believe with all my heart that small groups are so important within a community. It's why the men's group is important. The women's group is important. Small groups within our community helps us to connect. Small groups, as we go into this study here, helps us to connect with each other. So I know that I have a few friends that I can go to and totally be my true, authentic self. Regardless of what I have done in my life, they will remind me that I am a masterpiece. And they will hear me. And they will listen. And I think we want that. We want that so much we'll almost sell our souls to the spirit within, to the spirit within. We'll sell our souls in order to get that connection. Gains. We can get those connections with the good vibes or the not so good vibes. But wherever we are connected and wherever we can get that connection is where we can live our wholehearted life. Brene Brown gives us an assignment, or at least in our booklet, we have an assignment for next week. So your assignment, but I can't leave without this one quote. She says in her Daring Greatly, this quote really spoke to my heart. Aren't we out there doing good work? Aren't we all working on ourselves the best we know how? Yes, we are. Aren't we all out there trial and error, looking for support, being giving and receiving, all of these wonderful things that we teach here. We're doing it. And we're doing it the best we can. And, we're doing it consciously. I believe living a wholehearted life is living consciously and making choices. As she points out, it's not just the easy path. It's the path of awareness, and we live aware of what's going on around us. But we, as she says, she quotes Theodore Roosevelt in her book, Daring Greatly. She says, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again and again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotion, who spends himself on a worthy cause, who at his best knows at the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." We can step in the arena, as she says, and I can assure you that we will fail. Not when we fail. We will fail over and over and over again. As I say, my spiritual journey is remembering and forgetting. And we will forget, and we will forget, and we will remember, and we will remember, but we stay in the arena. And we hang out with people that stay in the arena and supports us. I love you. I bless you. I behold the living presence of God within you, and so it is. Amen.
When they push, when they pull, tell me, can you hold on? When they say you should change, can you lift your head high and stay strong? Will you give up giving when your heart's crying out that it's wrong? Will you love you for you at the end of it all? Now in life, there's gonna be times when you're feeling low, and in your mind, insecurities seem to take control. We start to look outside ourselves for acceptance and approval. We keep forgetting the one thing we should know is, don't be scared to fly alone. Find a path that is your own. Love will open every door. It's in your hands, the world is yours. Don't hold back and always know all the answers that will unfold. So what are you waiting for? Spread your wings and soar. That boy who wonders, is he good enough for them? He keeps trying to please them all, but he just never seems to fit in. Then there's the girl who thinks she'll never ever be good enough for him. Keeps trying to change. That's a game she'll never win. No, 'cause in life, there's gonna be times when you're feeling low, and in your mind, insecurities seem to take control. We start to look outside ourselves for acceptance and approval. We keep forgetting that one thing we should know is, don't be scared to fly alone. Find a path that is your own. Love will open every door. It's in your hands. so foreign to her after all these years. All of her life she has tried to be something besides herself. Now time has passed and she's ended up someone else with regret. What is it in us that makes us feel the need to keep pretending? Gotta let ourselves be. The world is yours. Don't hold back and always know all the answers that will unfold. So what are you waiting for? Spread your wings and soar. Don't be scared to fly alone. Find a path that is your own. Love will open every door. It's in your hands. The world is yours. Don't hold back and always know all the answers that will unfold. So what are you waiting for? Spread your wings and soar. Don't wait no more. But you can soar. Don't wait no more. You can soar. Don't wait no more. You can soar. You can soar. Don't wait no more. You can soar.
Whoa! She is in the arena, is she not? She is in the arena and she is soaring, giving it all. Thank you so much. I also want to just remind you that our study guide is available in our garden court for self-study guide or for groups. And if you're streaming with us today, you can download that right off of our website. So let's prepare to receive our offering. And we invite you to make a gift to Unity Minneapolis. If you're streaming with us, we invite you to make a gift as well. So again, let's just center ourselves, knowing that we are truly a masterpiece. We are a masterpiece, and for that we are grateful. I'll affirm our church offertory blessing, and then together and then silently. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am, and silently. Thank you, God. So we bless these gifts. We bless the gifts received in the mail. Our electronic giving we bless. Bless our gifts from our streaming community. Just grateful from all of these channels, knowing that God is truly the source of all good. And we bless these gifts and we send them forth to fulfill our vision and mission, truly, of a transformed world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Thank you. I want to apologize to our streaming audience. Unfortunately, we didn't have an ASL interpreter this morning. At the last minute, there was a mix-up, so we'll be back working, I'm sure, next week just fine. So how you doing out there? I am so glad that you were here this morning. I want to just share, I want to invite our chaplains to stand. Our beautiful prayer chaplains, they arrived early and they're here in service today with you. So if you have a prayer request, by all means, seek out a Unity prayer chaplain. Thank you for your service, and you may be seated. Also, reminder again that on Tuesday, October the 29th, Dr. Mike Obsett has a workshop on shame. You might want to look into that this afternoon at 1:30, a beautiful workshop on the four Gospels and the parables and the hidden meaning of the parables. I'm looking forward to that. Tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, we have a celebration of life service here, honoring the life of Ann Nugent Wilson, the mother of Margaret Wilson, who attends here. And then on Wednesday, I believe at the same time, Jennifer Isaac will also will honor her, celebrate her life as well on Wednesday morning as well. Do you consider this your spiritual home? Then I invite you to become a member if you're not already a member. There's something about a deepening of membership that makes a difference. It's a chance to get together and know people. We have a wonderful class coming up next weekend. It's a Friday night for a couple of hours, a few hours on Saturday where we provide lunch as well, and then on Sunday afternoon, and then the installation. But membership, you say, well, but it's a deepening of your own spirituality. And then also, you become a part of the governance of this church. And you say, governance? I don't want to. Look at our government now. Why should I become a governance of your church, you know? Gosh, I'm going offline right here, right now. But you might want to seriously consider becoming a member, and we'd love to have you. You can sign up out in the garden court, so we're prepared. If you need child care, by all means, indicate that as you sign up so that we can provide child care for you as well. You're doing great out there? Of course you are. Let's stand together and let's bring our children in, okay?
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Morning. Cassidy's away on the Unity Teen Retreat, and today we have had a very special guest, Will Hale, leading us in dances of universal peace. So we did a lot of dancing and peacemaking with our bodies today. And I also want to encourage you to check out this book. We're doing a workshop coming up on November 9th about conscious use of the screen time. And it's for kids and their families, and I think it's a really important message, and encourage people that you know, not just your own children, but people you know in the community, to come and check it out and learn about ways that we can use the screen more consciously, especially for our kids. Thanks.
And let's appreciate these adult volunteers. When I see our children coming in, I just think, they will have no problem remembering that they are masterpieces. Did you know that? They will, because that's what we teach upstairs. So let us know together our prayer for protection and our peace song. Together we know that the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine.
All is well.
Our peace song is speak and connect to at least 3 people before you leave the sanctuary today. Let us know together our peace song.
Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Now peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous now. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. There's hope, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. There's hope, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. There's hope, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. In the diary. Back when I had a little, I thought that I needed a lot. A little was overrated, but a lot was a little too complicated. See, 0 didn't satisfy me, 1,000,000 didn't make me happy. That's when I learned a lesson, that it's all about your perception. Hey, are you a pauper or a superstar? So you act, so you feel, so you are. It ain't about the size of your car, it's about the size of the faith in your heart. 'Cause there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Out in the backcountry of Brazil, I met a young brother that made me feel that I could accomplish anything. You see, just like me, he wanted to sing. He had no windows, had no doors. He lived a simple life and was extremely poor. On top of all that, he had no eyesight. That didn't keep him from seeing the light. He said, what's it like in the USA? And all I did was complain. He said, living here is a paradise. He taught me paradise is in your mind. You know that there's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. Better thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. Don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Every time I turn on the TV, there's somebody acting crazy. If you let it, it'll drive you crazy. But I'm giving back my power today. Oh, 'cause gas prices keep on rising. The government, they keep on lying. But we gotta keep on surviving. Keep living our truth and do the best we can do. 'Cause there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Oh, there's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There's hope. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Keep shining your light. just show the world your smile. Stand up for your
Stand
right.
up for your
Keep
right.
shining your light.
Shining your
and show
light.
the world your smile.
Show the world your smile.
There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You gotta thank God for that. There's hope. Doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There's 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1.